Good afternoon, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Ross Johnston. In World Cup action yesterday, Spain beat France 2-0 in the semifinals to advance to the finals on Sunday. Today, England and Argentina face off at 2 p.m. in Atlanta for the second spot in the final. France will play the loser of England and Argentina on Saturday in the third-place match, and the World Cup final will take place on Sunday at 2 p.m. in East Rutherford, New Jersey. In college baseball news, Baseball America reports that the NCAA Rules Subcommittee approved the usage of the ABS Challenge system in college baseball. And lastly, in NFL news, Rich Cimini reports that the incident from last month involving Jets quarterback Geno Smith being accused of battery is no longer active and he will not be charged. For all your foundation repair and your waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans of Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Stores. 615-737-1045 is the number. Ross is back. His little sore throat is all healed up and he's able to talk. Ross, how were your last 2 days?
Yeah, man.
Well, contrary to the belief that I had a parasite and was having diarrhea consistently, it was just the throat.
Yeah, he said you had that.
We didn't really know, and I still have no proof that you have a sore throat. I just am having to take you at your word.
Doing a little better.
No
yeah.
we.
couldn't really talk on Monday, but I wouldn't have minded the parasite either. Probably would have lost about 10 pounds. Could have used it.
Oh.
Well, you can't eat lettuce, cilantro, leafy greens, all that kind of stuff, or you may get the parasite. So this is good news for those people who do not eat salads.
Oh. Is it true that it takes like 2 weeks to go into effect?
Oh my gosh, does it? I haven't read that part.
Yeah, that's what I read. I don't know if that was true or not. I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
I just heard that Taco Bell
people or kind of all of them.
Well, the meat at Taco Bell is fine. So it's just the lettuce, apparently. Now it's creeped into Kentucky. I know that. Like, it's up in Kentucky. It was Ohio and Michigan. Now it's in Kentucky, and I can't remember where else. So it's creeping its way down here. So everybody quit eating salads.
Yeah, people.
Quit moving to Tennessee and stop eating salads.
Yeah, I saw. I never got to talk about us being the worst state to move to.
Yeah,
allegedly.
it was the worst. It was the state with the worst quality of life.
I agree. Don't move here.
Don't move here.
It's a horrible place
stress.
to live.
It's too much stress.
Yes. Oh, so you with that too, huh? Don't move here.
Yeah, I was like, great list.
Yeah, keep on moving here and raising these housing market rates, man. That's horrible. I'm like, what? You got to be kidding me, man. I remember that house used to only be this amount.
All right.
They're going to move out or they're going to sit there and then the numbers come down.
I mean, like I'm just saying, like let's move to the rural areas.
Well, then you're going to have to close the Pedal Tavern. That's why people are coming here.
I guess I'm talking the Pedal Tavern people out of a job, aren't I?
Oh, man. Come on.
Okay. It's a little early.
Uh-oh.
It's a little early to maybe do this, but I got 4 college football prospects that I think should go ahead and be on your radar, Blaine.
Oh, because, I have no idea who you're talking about.
I want to start it early, so that way you can write this down, you can have a list, and remember that Zach talked about these guys.
And you cannot change.
Can't change.
Even if they start off and play horrible and get benched.
Right.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I know you go with the flow.
We're going to go small school. Okay?
Oh, so somebody from Ball State?
Maybe smaller than that. I don't know. We're going to start with a Rice cornerback from Rice football.
Oh, okay. Not a Rice.
His name is Mo, M-O-H, if you want to write this down.
Mo.
Bility, B-I-L-I-T-Y. Okay? So he's a 6 foot, 184 pound. He's from Dallas. He was born in Dallas, Texas, and he's a junior, and he's a cornerback.
Is he any good?
His name's Mobility.
Mobility. Dang, is that why you chose him?
Here's another one.
But first of all, where did you read this information? Because I know you're not watching any of Rice. I lived in Houston. It's right there, and you just drive by Rice and just ignore it. It's just nothing.
Here's another one from Central Arkansas. Okay, he's a defensive back from Central Arkansas. Write this down. His name is Dude, D-U-D-E, Person, P-E-R-S-O-N.
Uh-oh, there's something common with these two names. Dude, Person.
Is he any good at football?
Yeah.
Where'd you say he goes?
He goes to Central Arkansas.
Central Arkansas.
And now we're going to go to SMU. So we're going to a bigger school now. SMU. Okay. He's a freshman. He's an offensive lineman. His name is King Large.
Are these real people?
These are real people, by the way. I don't know if they're any good.
King Large.
King Large is a real person. I double-checked this, make sure I wasn't getting got. I double-checked all these names.
So you thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here's the last one.
King Large.
King Large. Here's the last one. He's a linebacker out of Arizona State. He's 6'3", 225 pounds. And he's a freshman, so he's a big old freshman, big boy. Prayer is his first name, Young Black Goat.
I've seen that one. That's real.
These are all real people. I know you love these ridiculous names sometimes. So
Black Goat?
Black Goat.
Oh my God.
And it's hyphenated. So it's Young, Y-O-U-N-G hyphen B-L-A-C-K-G-O-A-T.
I don't want to know. You picked these all for yeah, you did.
This was all. Listen, I don't know if these guys are any good. I just wanted to share these names for you. I wanted to get you to write them down.
Oh man, you got me all working over here for Duke and Mo and King and Prayer Young. Come on. Oh man, these are real people. You know what? I'm gonna tune in. If a game is on, I'm flipping the channel. I see one of these teams. I'm gonna stop and see if I find.
See if Mobility's any good.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna check.
Mobility's been in the. Let's do this. Let's check Mobility stats.
Ross must have talked you into this.
No, he didn't know. Nobody knew what I was doing. That's why I wanted to make sure people thought it was a serious thing.
I legit thought it was going to be like 4 gyms in the draft.
I sure thought you did too, man. You had me on the ropes right there.
It's funny because like a guy that I told you guys about last year, that was for real. His name was Damon Wilson. He was the Missouri edge rusher that transferred from Georgia. Well, he transferred to Miami. Now he's going to be under Jason Taylor. And now I hear everybody talking about Damon Wilson. I was like, never wrong, just early. 'Cause I thought he was going to come out last year, and he ended up not coming out last year. So Mobility, okay, so he has played a total, and he's a junior. In his career, he's played a total of 41 snaps. So I don't think Mobility is going to be any good.
What?
Okay, so what was the other one? Dude Person. Well, King Large and I think Prairie Young Black Goat have not played yet.
Oh my.
Now listen, Dude Person. He is a safety.
Oh, safety.
And he's actually started the last 2 seasons for Central Arkansas. And according to PFF, he has pretty good grades. Let's see how many interceptions and stuff he's got. He has 7 pass breakups over the last 2 years as a safety and 0 interceptions, but has only allowed 3 touchdowns over the last 2 years. So maybe Dude Person could be a dude.
What's his size?
He is like 5'10", 185, according to PFF. Let's see what it said on his ESPN.
185?
185.
Oh, man, that's a small safety.
Yeah, ESPN has him listed at the same. So we'll see if that's actually true or not. But yeah, King Large could be something in a few years. Maybe he'll be starting for the Tennessee Titans.
At left tackle? Or is
maybe
he guard?
Maybe right guard in a few years.
Guard.
I'm interested. I saw these yesterday. These were all on someone's Twitter account yesterday, and it reminded me of that. I can't remember the Notre Dame guy that I was telling you about the other day, but he had a really good name too. Like it's an all-world name.
Trying to think Notre Dame. Oh man.
What was his name? It was like Champion or something. Was his name? It was something. I think he actually had. Gosh, I cannot remember what it was. I don't think I have it saved anywhere, but he had a great name, and I was like, oh man, that's a guy that you can't bet against. And he's of course did.
It was called Sir Bible.
Maybe. I'll see if I can find it later.
Over the chat over here, man.
Let's go to grill or drill.
Grill.
It is grill? Okay, so we're going to the grill sergeant about people moving to Tennessee. Grill sergeant, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
All right. Hey, how you guys doing? I'm a first-time caller on any calling station, and thank you guys for accepting my call. But I've been listening. I'm a long-time listener, and I have been listening to all of the people that's moving to Nashville. In effect, there's a lot of people moving and crowding up Clarksville here as well. From Nashville, to be exact. On my street alone, I can know 3 families, and my street's probably about 1/8 of a mile long. 3 families that are moving from Nashville to Clarksville. So we're feeling it as well down here.
All right, so we need to send everybody to Clarksville that we don't want here in Nashville is what you're saying.
I should have known this was going to go that way.
No, what he's saying is people from Nashville moving to Clarksville, right?
Yeah, we'll send more people up there.
That's the ultimate effect. They're moving here. I think it's a little bit less cost of living here in Clarksville area, and that's what we got going on here. And I am the grill sergeant. Thank you for your time.
No problem. That's the grill sergeant calling in and telling everybody really just to kind of stay away from
Grill sergeant
from Clarksville too.
He fits the name too, grill sergeant.
Yeah, I like it. I like that name, the grill sergeant. I should have asked him if he did what kind of grill he uses, and I should have asked him how many does he do barbecue contests and all that stuff. We should have got more information out of the grill sergeant.
Oh, Chubba Hubbard.
I don't think that's the guy I'm thinking of. Of course, this is quite the name. Okay, I'm going to see if I can say it. This isn't the name I'm thinking of. Oluwasimilore Olubolobola. I think I nailed it. I think I got it. I think I accidentally added a D in there that I shouldn't have, but I think I was pretty close.
Not sure what language that was.
Oh, man, I wish I could I think that guy's last name was Champion, but maybe I'm making that up or something. But it was a crazy name. We talked about it a few weeks ago. But I always like, when I see unique names.
Unique name.
That, gotta make sure that I bring them up and everybody gets to hear them. Because I think they're unique names. I wish that mobility guy would have been a wide receiver. That would have been a great name for a wide receiver. He must not be able to catch. Because that would have been a great name. If Ross's name was Mobility, he'd be the new Wes Welker right now.
He might have been a wide receiver. They might have moved him.
Maybe they moved him.
to DB. Alante Taylor was a wide receiver.
Yeah, I saw that pop up on my timeline.
He played everywhere in high school. He was quarterback, corner, safety. I was like, damn, man, what can this dude not do?
Yeah, I saw that article and from A to Z pop up, and then they got all these community notes. You know what a community note is, right, on Twitter?
Explain to everybody.
Okay, for those that may not know, because I know Blaine does know, he's big in it, is that a community note, you get to a certain level of Twitter, they have to approve you, and a community note, if someone gets something wrong in their tweet, the community bands together and makes sure to correct everybody.
Yeah, Ross.
And so you see it a lot pop up on like political tweets and news tweets and all this kind of stuff, but it popped up on A to Z because of their misleading headline.
What did they say in the headline?
Because, I'll have to find it, but the way that they put it in the headline was making it sound like he said that he didn't like going to University of Tennessee.
Yeah, because that's why I clicked on it, because I thought he was going to what? He didn't like Tennessee?
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, here it is. I hated it so much. Former Vols defensive back Alante Taylor makes honest admission from his time at Tennessee. Right. So that makes it seem like it. So below it are community notes, and it says this headline is misleading and omits key context. Taylor is describing his initial frustration with a position change, not the University of Tennessee. Framing his comments this way creates a false impression that isn't supported by what he actually said. And they actually got community noted twice. It says, the quote, I hated it so much refers to Taylor hating his switch from wide receiver to cornerback, not his overall time at Tennessee, where he started 31 games at the position.
So did y'all text the people from A to Z and tell them that they misled you guys?
I didn't even really. That's the first time I've.
You need to be the media police, man.
Well, someone's already policing it. I don't have to police it.
Hearing it from a friend, though, they listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they know you're going to hold them accountable.
Well, it's got.
They don't know those other people.
It's got. You should see the comments. 31 comments on the replies on the tweet and everything.
They text and whine about anything else. That's how you deal with whiners. Call them out.
No, they are.
You do all this whining, you just did it.
They are definitely getting called out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because they made me click on it.
Yeah.
I was like, what? He like you did? My son was there. I know. So I was like, what are they talking about?
Yeah. I didn't. I was like, surely he didn't say that about the University of Tennessee because he would become the most hated player ever.
Ever. No way. I don't.
Hey, that's the name of the game, though. You clicked on the article.
Hey, listen to him.
Yeah,
he's taking up for A to Z in there saying, hey, clickbait got you.
Yeah, that's misleading. I'm going to come up with a business where I'm going to be the media police.
That's what the community knows.
No, the community, no, I'm talking about there's fine, there's penalties, there are ramifications. There are no ramifications besides, oh, we caught you.
Yeah.
Hey, boo-boo. No, I'm going to come up with it.
Okay, so your media police, you see this.
Yeah, that was
And what's the fine? Or is there a warning first?
Well, you should definitely get a warning first, but I think they're past the warning stage. That was just, that was really bad there.
Suspension?
For a whole week they can't post.
There you go. The media police on you.
See, so if you start having ramifications with the media and they can't just say anything, even people on podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they be just blurting out. I'm like, man, this is absolutely wrong. I know this person. I know exactly what happened. And I just was like, uh-oh. And guess what? Everybody out here all of a sudden starts believing this old ding-dong out here saying this old crazy crap.
Was that on Football and Other F words?
Yeah, I think it was, too. Yeah, no. So it's just like, man, dang, that's kind of taking over, man. And people are believing this information. It's really a little disappointing that that's where we're at in this world, really.
Now, would you call it media police, or Knocktrop in the F&M Bank chat said you call it the ding dong police? But that feels like you're calling yourself a ding dong.
No, I think media police, because it's not just media; it's everybody that is visible on social media. So maybe I call it social media police.
Yeah.
I think that's because I think the media feels like the people who are talking feel like they're entitled to say whatever they want to say about people that they don't know and don't really have the information. And that is something that I don't agree with, especially without doing homework. You just kind of got loose lips out here saying whatever. That's reprehensible talking about people like that. I don't agree with that at all.
All right. Real quick before we get Chris Phillips, let's see. He is in the lobby, by the way. We'll get Chris Phillips in here. We'll go around the SEC. But real quick, let's go to RJ and Dixon. RJ, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Yes, sir. I just had I'll make it quick, bud. Second-time caller. Thanks for having me on the show. I watch you guys every day while I'm out running my test route. I just wanted to say a quick thing, though, that I don't think he's at Louisiana Monroe anymore, but there was a quarterback there by the name of General Booty.
General Booty.
LSU was John Booty?
Yeah, there was John David Booty and General Booty. But that wasn't the guy. It's a guy that I appreciate the name. It was a guy that recently committed because I just read it to you guys. I think we may have been at Elmo Rose or something, and I think I read that. I got to find it. It's going to drive me nuts.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
Yeah, but it is a real person. I cannot remember what that guy's name. We'll try to figure that out.
Out of college? Or was he somebody coming out of...
coming out of high school.
I thought it was college. No, huh?
Yeah, I think he committed at Notre Dame and he was coming out of high school. And I got to figure out this name. It's going to drive me nuts. Okay, when we come back, we'll be joined by Chris Phillips. We'll go around the SEC with him of SEC Unfiltered. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Legendary coach Lou Holtz once said, before people spend money, they ask 3 questions. Can I trust you? Are you committed to excellence? And do you care about me? Hey, friends, it's Blaine Bishop for Eurofix. And Eurofix has built its business on answering those three questions with a bold yes. So back in 1999, founder Aaron Stokes was by himself in his one-car garage in downtown Franklin. And a few months later, he moved to a shop in a barn behind his house so he could stay close to his family while building his dream of offering the best service on European vehicles at below dealer pricing. So you fast forward to today, and the barn's long gone, and Eurofix is thriving with 5 locations in Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, and Mount Juliet, with more to come. And all work performed comes with a 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty, plus a rental car is available with every appointment. So go ahead and ask yourself, can you trust us? Do we care? And are we committed to excellence? And I think you'll say yes when you see how Eurofix treats its customers. So all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can check them out online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com.
Cover 2. Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone, powered by all four Seasons Garage Doors, 615-737-1045. And we got Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. And did I just hear this correctly? You don't have Vanderbilt going to a bowl game this year?
We don't have to start it off like that. Come on.
This is what he does to me.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. We're gonna spend our entire preseason pissing people off. Let's not. We can't. We don't rip the jugular out from the very beginning.
Yeah. So you make.
Well, I want to get the Vandy fans calling in
next time, right? I mean,
I was telling y'all before we got on air, man. It's been awesome, number one.
Yeah.
But it's been really entertaining because after last year, it kind of woke up the Vandy fan base a little bit. So I was telling y'all, I've noticed this preseason Vandy fans coming out of the woodworks. Like, we did our best case, worst case scenario a couple weeks ago, and I had best case for Vandy 7-5. I'm thinking, okay, like a 7-5 season would be a good season. And you would have thought I took a personal shot at them. Like they think they're going to go back and do it again. And if you say they're not, they take it as such. And certainly if you pick Tennessee ahead of them, they take it as such. So we're in the midst of prediction season, talking season, media days next week. We dropped our predicted order of finish on our show today, and I'm getting in my game by game record predictions for every team. Probably start dropping those next week. And it's interesting as you go through all the schedules. You have teams that in your head you're like, I'm pretty high on this team, or I feel some way about this team. But then when you sit down and you truly go through it game by game, then it's like, wow, I thought I'd be higher on them.
There.
That's when it gets real. That's when we get down to brass tacks. So Vandy, it was surprising to me how low I was on them to a point to where, spoiler alert, I do have them missing a bowl game, which I would have never thought. I thought it would at least
that's just
6
how
and
the
6.
math worked.
It's just how it worked. They've got a brutal schedule, man. I mean, part of having a great season is not just do you have a great football team. It is, do you have a great football team and do you have a schedule conducive to a big year, a la Texas A&M last year, who started the season 11-0. I don't think Vandy had an easy schedule, but they didn't have Georgia like they do this year, just for an example. So, it's the schedule plays a large part for sure. I mean, one of the reasons I'm really high on Georgia, per the ESPN FPI, however much stock you want to put in it, Georgia's got the 16th ranked SEC schedule out of all 16. I mean, that helps.
How does that even happen?
Well, you know how it happens though. They can't play Georgia. That's why any other team you look at their schedule, they still play Oklahoma. They still got to go play Florida. They still have to go to Alabama. They still have tough games, but when you're Georgia, the schedule doesn't look as hard as maybe for some others. So,
hey, I thought you were saying you only were doing this for. I'm going back to Vandy because of that quarterback's name, and that fit the mantra what we were talking about with these funny names. What's his name?
Blake Berlowitz or Jared Curtis, and there's a lot of steam, a lot of momentum catching fire, at least on social media, that Berlowitz is going to be the guy. We were just, like I told you, I'm not afraid to say it. I couldn't have told you Vandy's backup quarterback last year.
Yeah,
it was all Diego Pavia.
I didn't know his name.
Yeah, it was all Diego Pavia. But back to the Vandy fans thing, though. Even I dropped my toughest places to play list, and Vandy was last. And I got a lot of love for the Doors and Lot 2, and they took that personally. And I'm like, you can't. Respectfully, you don't have much of a leg to stand on when you're not even filling your own home stadium with all black and gold. When I went to the LSU game last year, a game Vandy won, by the way. They didn't win it because of the crowd, with all due respect. Half the stadium was purple and gold with LSU folks. They won the game because Diego Pavia. So don't come telling me that First Bank is one of the top 10 toughest places to play in the league. Like, come on. Come on. Who are we kidding?
But they still was full.
It still was full, but half of it was LSU fans. You got to fill your own stadium up with your own people before we start having debates about who should be 15 or 14 or whatever.
A lot of those people who graduate from Vandy, most of them are, doctors and lawyers.
They don't like sports.
They don't come back like that. Yeah.
Right. Just saying. I'm just. I like
all
it.
All the money's the same, though.
Clark Lee. This is what Clark Lee's done, though. He's built some sense of urgency. Vandy fans are getting a little fired up. Nobody wants to get picked last.
Donate money to the NIL. That's all. That's. I mean, they can't make it to the game.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that we started off with that. Hey, listen, your toughest places to play rankings. You have number 1, Death Valley. Makes a ton of sense. Neyland Stadium, number 2. The Swamp, number 3. Kyle Field, number 4. Sanford Stadium, number 5. Williams-Brice Stadium, number 6.
You're assuming that everybody knows where these stadiums are.
Oh, sorry. I guess come on.
No.
Okay.
You don't tell them. You need to explain to
Number
them.
one,
we got
LSU.
new listeners who don't know. We're trying to
Number
hook
two,
them.
I might do NFL stadiums. They put Nissan at number one. Nissan Stadium.
That will make everybody feel good. 3, the Swamp, which is in Florida.
Right, of
4,
course.
Kyle Field, Texas A&M. 5, Sanford Stadium, Georgia. William Bryce Stadium. I can go down the list. What I found to be interesting was Oklahoma at 9, but Texas at 12. Is Texas, I mean, I've never been to Texas Stadium, but I mean, it looks like it's all burnt orange all the time, burnt orange and white.
Sure does
Are
on
they
TV.
not, is that not a tough place to play?
Well, and here's what I'll say. All I can go off is my experience. So I've been to 15 of the 16 games. The only one I have not been to is Kentucky, which I can confidently say probably is not a top
I've
5
been
or
to
even top
Kentucky
10
too,
venue.
man.
All due respect to Kroger Field. I'm sure we got a lot
rainy.
of Big Blue Nations tuned in right now. You know, man, I love my Texas folks. DKR is a beautiful venue, great place to catch a ball game. And the 2 games I've been to, 2024 was against Kentucky. Probably not fair to judge you off that. Last year they played Arkansas when I went. And I understand Arkansas wasn't very good. And it was the week after Georgia. And Texas had a little bit of a hangover from losing to Georgia. And the venue was packed. But you would have might as well thought they were playing Arkansas State. And this is a rivalry game to a degree, whether they want to say it is or not. It is an old Big 8 rivalry. And it was dead. And I've had Texas fans tell me too, man, it's a very wine and cheese fan base. Now, they'll get up when, like, Georgia comes to town. I'm sure week 2, when Ohio State comes to town, it'll be raucous. But I don't think
tend to be a little fair weather in the way that they approach not their attendance, but approach their enthusiasm.
I thought the in-game atmosphere from, like, so here's the thing. People want me to define how I make this list because, well, you know, Tennessee, look what we did in Death Valley a couple years ago, where Georgia fans are like, Neyland Stadium isn't very hard for us to win in. Like, this isn't a difficult place to play. If we're just going to rank it based off of records, then there's no point even making a list. There'd be no opinion associated with it. It'd just be based off winning percentages. Here's the problem with that. If we go play Georgia in Sanford Stadium or the parking lot of this place, they're the toughest. It's the toughest place in the country to play because we're playing Georgia, not because we're playing in Sanford Stadium, with all due respect. So, like, you can't just go off of record, right? It matters, but you can't just go off of record. So, like, Texas has been pretty good at home, but, you know, in-game atmosphere, I think in-game tradition, the chants, the crowd involvement, for example, like Tennessee. Tennessee may not have the best team every year, but it's an insane asylum in there. You know their fan base is going to bring it every single time. The teams that are at the top and the venues are at the top, they're venues that you have to account for them in the result of the game. That's like how much of a difference the fan bases and the crowd noise and, again, crowd involvement makes. So for me, for Texas, again, I have not been for a huge primetime matchup, but last year was really disappointing to me when I went, just from a in-game atmosphere standpoint. I was in the upper deck, sure, but it just felt very dead, start to finish. And again, I've also got other people that have told me, again, it's a very, you know, wine and cheese crowd, kind of like North Carolina basketball. Pinkies up a little bit, you know, winnings included in the price of admission. It's why Bryant-Denny Stadium isn't higher. And I've been there. I've seen Bryant-Denny at their very, very best. But you can't just show up sometimes and be the toughest place to play. You got to show up all the time. And the places that are at the top, typically those fan bases show up on a week-in, week-out basis. So Texas is a great place to catch a ball game, and you should go, but I think it's got a long way to go in regards to in-stadium atmosphere and being like a place where opponents truly look at it as like, man, I'm really sweating going to DKR.
Yeah, because I'm very surprised that Missouri's ranked higher than them.
Again, I go back to, like I said, Texas has got a bigger stadium than Mizzou does.
Yeah.
But when I went to Mizzou last year, it was Missouri, South Carolina. South Carolina's not a very good team. Call it the border war, border rivalry, or the Mayor's Cup, excuse me.
Yeah.
Not the border rivalry, the Mayor's Cup. I was just really impressed with the way Mizzou fans stayed engaged in the game, and it was a constant loud. Like it never got quiet in there, right? Like, so I give you credit for that. I give you bonus for that, right? Like if at times your stadium sounds like a library, that it's going to knock a couple points off or a couple, a ranking spot or two. So yeah, I give Mizzou a lot of credit. But here's what you'll notice too in the comments: there's not a lot of pushback from Texas fans. Because I think they know, and I remember when Texas joined the league, again, I had Texas folks and people that cover Texas tell me, hey, Texas has made a lot of strides, But we got a little bit of a ways to go to catch up with tailgating, with in-game atmosphere. And so, yeah, I think it's –
so what's the lead up with the players when they walk up there? They don't have a walk or anything like that?
I think they probably do. Admittedly, I wasn't at that one. I don't typically go to like the team walks. We're pretty much busy at the tailgates and whatnot. But like, you know, I hate to say this, but like even at the tailgating last year, I mean, I went to 3 separate tailgates at Texas last year for the Arkansas game. No food.
What?
Then
that's not even a tailgate.
You name me an SEC tailgate that ain't got food.
Then it's not a tailgate.
And I remember I had to walk about a half a mile to a bar in Austin to go get lunch. And I was like, you've got to be joking me. So, admittedly, again, love my Texas folks to death. We might be in Austin this season. I will never go back to a Texas game unless it is a huge matchup because they don't show up, I think, for those smaller games. It is what it is.
That blows my mind that there's no food at a Texas tailgate.
Listen,
with all the barbecue and all this stuff that they can have.
I got unlucky. The 3 that I went to did not have food. Yeah. I got unlucky, I guess. Luck of the draw, but, you know.
That is crazy. Just so you know, everybody in the chat is pro Vanderbilt not making a bowl game. So you got a lot of support.
Their pro is in they agree or they're hoping that Vanderbilt.
You got a lot of University of Tennessee fans saying, we like this Chris Phillips guy because he hates Vanderbilt.
That's what I've learned about all the fan bases in the SEC, though, is that when you're talking good about them or say something they like, they love you, and the second you don't, they all hate you. So it's not a whole lot of middle ground there. But no, I mean, it's, you know, I love those Vandy folks. But again, you sit down and you just go through game by game, and it just, I mean, Missouri's another one that I couldn't believe how low I was on them. But the schedule's daunting. And
where are you at with Tennessee? Hold on. We just said you got the Tennessee.
Y'all haven't been following along with the content, man. I've been giving Tennessee nothing but dude. I know. Josh Heupel was my pick for Coach of the Year.
But everybody not reading articles.
Tennessee fans want Josh Heupel fired. I think he's going to win Coach of the Year.
You think he's going to win Coach of the Year?
I think he could. Now,
he could. Anybody could.
No, here's why I say he could, because I'm leaning more into it's very easy to give the Coach of the Year to the coach who wins the most games and wins the SEC. That's whatever. But for example, though, like Clark Lee, he deserved it last year because he took less and did more with it, supposedly, is how we all felt. I think based off of the expectations and how people are talking about Tennessee, it feels like people are very down on Tennessee. Very down.
Do you know a lot
of just fringe 6-6. It's either going to be G-Mac or Faison Brandon.
Just like Vandy. They don't know who that is, right?
Yeah, different? I mean, but the rest of the roster, it's not just the quarterback. The rest of the roster is what I like. And I think for Vandy, some of the concerns for me, they rest outside of the quarterback position. There's a lot to replace on both lines of scrimmage. I don't know that they have the high-end athletes that Tennessee has, like on the outside, for example. I know Junior Sherrill's back, and he was a good player. But here's the difference, though. Joey Aguilar, I know he led the SEC in passing, but he was a good player. Diego Pavia was Vandy. You know what I mean? Like, you can't not take a step back and you're losing Pavia and Stowers. There's just no way you're going to pick it back up and go win 9 or 10 games again. So, and also, too, I just believe in Josh Heupel with quarterbacks. I think I learned my lesson last year when I had Aguilar ranked 16th coming in the season. I was like, he's the worst. This guy's a bum and I love App State, but I'm like, he's not very good. And he led the league in passing. So I think Tennessee at minimum will get adequate quarterback play. They may not be great, and if it is Faison Brandon, he's going to take his lumps just like Jared Curtis will. But what Faison Brandon will have, he's got Deshaun Bishop, who ran for over 1,000 yards. He's got 2 fantastic receivers on the outside. I think he's got an offensive line that is up for the challenge. And defensively, I'm a believer in Jim Knowles. It sucks they lost Chaz Coleman. That was a big blow, but Arion Carter being back is huge, and I think the secondary is really underrated. So, and I think, again, you look at the schedule, I think Tennessee's schedules can do so. I mean, I got them going.
How many?
I got them going 8-4. Nothing crazy. Okay. Nothing crazy. And maybe,
but 8-4 with this roster is, to your point, a pretty good coaching.
With a young quarterback.
Yeah,
they might need to get to 9-3
first-year starter
for him to win Coach of the Year. But if they get to 9-3, I think there's a real case to make that Josh Heupel did the best. And let's see it all play out. Context matters, but. There's a real case to be made that Josh Heupel will be deserving of winning Coach of the Year. And I think Josh Heupel, at minimum, whether he does or doesn't do that, I think he's going to prove this year he's the right guy. I think it's kind of crazy that people are ready to run him off and think that he's this or he's that. And, listen, only one team can win the national championship. Everybody's trying to shoot for it. It's really tough to do. So I know Tennessee fans, they want nothing more than get back to the playoff. And I think for Heupel, it's just keep your head above water this year. You go 8-4 or better. They can't fire him at that point. I think even 7-5, he should return. They go 6-6 or worse. Obviously, we're getting some pretty dangerous territory. But I got them 8-4, and I got them beating Alabama too. So
Yeah, well,
I think they get them at
you're wrong.
I think they get them at dude. Tennessee's found something against Bama at Neyland. It's just and dude, it's like I talked about toughest places to play. If that game's at night, all bets are off. All bets are off.
So what is Alabama's record then?
I had Bama 10-2.
And one of those losses
to Tennessee. Who's the other one? Georgia.
Yeah.
So
this is all going to be published very, very soon.
Who's in the championship? SEC.
So I've got Georgia, Texas, Georgia hoisting the trophy again.
Right.
I have to. We actually did our Georgia team preview today on our show, and Texas is extremely immensely talented across the board. Obviously, weapons everywhere. If Arch Manning takes the next step, he's defensively. Funny enough, this is the acquisition many forgot. Texas brought in Will Muschamp from Georgia.
Oh, that's right.
They brought him in for one reason. To beat Georgia. That's it. To solve the riddle. Give us all the industry secrets. What does Kirby do? If there's anybody that can beat Georgia, if you can't beat them, bring somebody in that can. So I think that's why they brought in Will. But you look at Georgia, man, they're stacked. I mean, they've got questions in regards to just because it's unproven who's like that big playmaker on the outside that's going to replace Zach Branch. But I think Gunnar Stockton is severely underrated. You got Nate Frazier and Chauncey Bowens back in the backfield. You got Dowdle, the Kentucky transfer, who's going to be RB3, who was starting for them. He's their RB3. All these offensive linemen, I don't know if y'all recall a couple years ago when the graphics were up and everybody's like, look at how big Georgia's O-line class is. Guys are 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 350, 360. Those guys are all like sophomores now. Georgia is going to bully people. They're going to bully people.
So this is a
beat them in a submission.
So they just go
and in Georgia defensively, they got 8 guys back on defense. They probably are the best linebacker room in the country. I mean, they returned 3 or 4 guys in the defensive front. Pass rush was the question last year. I have no doubts Kirby Smart solves that. He's not going to let that linger into this year. And they got Ellis Robinson IV, who's probably going to be one of the best defensive backs in the country, and KJ Bolden, a headhunter at safety. And they brought in Khalil Barnes from Clemson, who is competing for the star, probably going to play there. It's probably going to be Kirby's best defense since 2021. So, I mean, Georgia is and they've got the easiest, quote-unquote, schedule per the ESPN FBI. So, and I've already seen Kirby beat up on Sark multiple times. So, I got to see somebody dethrone Georgia before I give the crown to somebody. I respect all predictions and picks because you never know. What if I told you Vandy went 10-2 last year? You'd have called me crazy. Mm-hmm. So, you never know. But if you want to bet on Texas over Georgia, so be it. But I'm not there yet. And I might be picking Georgia to win the whole thing. I don't know yet.
Oh, well, all right. How many SEC make the playoff?
I've got 4. So my 3 for sure.
Okay, save that until we come back.
Okay.
All right. When we come back, we're going to hear which 4. Is it Georgia?
Is it the Vols
I don't know.
at 8-4? Is Georgia one of the Vols sneak in?
Yeah.
Right. Who is it?
Well, we'll hear that when we come back. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Not Vandy.
Cover 2. Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. We're on with Chris Phillips, who's in studio. SEC Unfiltered. He's got Josh Heupel Coach of the Year. Vandy not making a bowl game, so he's got something for every volunteer fan today.
When you put it that way,
Man.
Tennessee homer.
Yeah, they're in here saying you're pandering. You're pandering to a couple of Vandy fans.
I don't know what it is. And you know, it's so funny. I've got a Tennessee buddy specifically, Chase. He might be listening to this show because he and Stevie and the boys, they all listen, and he hates when I pick Tennessee because he's like, every time you picked us to win a series during baseball season, we will lose.
Ooh.
And so this clip of me talking about Heupel comes out a couple days ago. The first comment, he's like, "Why do you hate me?" So sorry to all the Tennessee fans if I jinxed you.
So
You're supposed to give us the four.
four SEC teams.
Should have been
for the playoff.
Oh, okay, 4 SEC teams. Georgia, Texas, easy. I have Alabama 10-2. I was surprised myself, but yeah, I think when you look at it, they're still immensely talented. I like the way the schedule shaped up for them. I think.
So you like this quarterback then? What's his?
Keelan Russell's going. He's a dude. Yeah, I trust. I know there's a lot of criticism around Kalen DeBoer, but I think if Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer can't get the best out of this kid, that he isn't the right guy for the job. But I think they will.
Now, when you say he ain't the right guy for the job, Kalen
DeBoer ain't the right guy for the job because I think Keelan Russell, and I know there's a battle between he and Austin Mack, but Keelan Russell's the guy.
Yeah.
Right? So, and they've got a couple weeks again to get it really going before they take on Georgia middle of October. So those are the 3. My 4th is Ole Miss.
No LSU.
Now here's the deal though. I say 4. I don't think we'd get lucky enough to get 5 because I've got 3. I think I've got 3 or 4. I think I've got 4 teams at 9-3. And Ole Miss, after doing the who beats who, Ole Miss would stand atop that group and make the college football playoff. So
Interesting.
I've got Ole Miss, Florida, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, all at 9-3.
So, do you believe in Trinidad Chambliss and the new Pete Golding Ole Miss and all this kind of stuff? No Lane Kiffin there or anything, and he's at LSU. So, I'm also interested to hear your take on LSU.
Zach and Blaine could be co-OCs, and Trinidad Chambliss is going to ball out. I don't care who's calling the plays. That dude's a freak. Now, it's a question mark. Don't get me wrong. Charlie Weiss Jr. being gone, and what is it post Lane Kiffin? I think Ole Miss beats LSU week 3. I think they get them at the Vaught. I think obviously it's going to be an emotionally charged game, and it feels like more of a can't lose for Ole Miss than LSU a little bit, just because of the LSU's LSU. I don't know. It feels more personal, obviously, for Ole Miss. But either way, yeah. I mean, you give me that duo, Trinidad Chambliss, Kawhi Lacey. Now they've got a lot of questions. They have to replace. I read over 3,000 yards of receiving from a year ago, which is wild when you think about it. And then Pete Golding, I mean, the thing you can depend on with him is quality defense. So they got a lot of transfer portal guys on that side. But, yeah, I like this Ole Miss team, came to 9-3. I think that big one early, obviously, is the LSU game, and I think they get it. I've got them beating Oklahoma again, which will be a big one. I think that one is in Norman again, if I recall, because it's the weird double schedule thing from last year to this year. But, yeah, I got Hottie Toddy making the playoffs. So I was this close to having Florida in the playoff. I kind of had to talk myself out of that a little bit.
A lot of Florida talk.
Yeah, there has been a lot of Florida talk.
That's why I was like, I just can't, I can't get all the way. But I got Florida 9-3. I was this close to having them 10-2. And this is what I was talking about off the air with logo bias. It is so easy to fall in love when you see that Gator logo and you're like, and I'll tell you this though, it's not just the logo. Florida's got a roster now. They got some ball players at Florida. Dallas Wilson, Vernell Brown III, Jaden Ball, who might be the best running back in the conference. They got an older, experienced offensive linebacker. Now, will the quarterback click? Is it Aaron Philo from Georgia Tech or is it Tramell Jones Jr.? They have a very similar question they're trying to solve as Tennessee. Do we go with the guy who's been in college football, maybe knows the system a little bit better because Philo was under Buster Faulkner at Georgia Tech? Or do we go with the flashy, athletic, highly prized recruit and kind of throw him to the wolves and say, we'll figure it out? Florida's also got a really good defense, stacked front seven. So
one John Summerall is going to always have those guys.
When you say all of this, who are your top 5 quarterbacks? Because that seems like it weighs into how good these teams are going to be.
The reason you see me pulling up my notes, I'm not even going to guess because I have this list already put together that we're going to drop next week. So my top 5 quarterbacks, I go Trinidad Chambliss from Ole Miss at number 1.
Oh.
And you know what? Already, I think I might change this because we talked about him today. Because originally I had Arch Manning 2 and then Gunnar Stockton 3 from Texas and Georgia, respectively. I think you could put Stockton at 2. I really do. I think Gunnar Stockton is very much slept on and disrespected. And I like Arch. I think a lot of the Arch hype and love comes from the end of the season and what happened. And to be fair, and he's all the weapons he has too. So we'll just say we'll stick with what I got here on my notes. Arch Manning from Texas, number 2. Gunnar Stockton at Georgia for 3. Go to battle over that all you want. Marcel Reed at Texas A&M, number 4.
NBA right here.
And then I was much higher on this guy than I expected. Lenoris Sellers from South Carolina at 5. I know he had a terrible year last year, but I still look at
Zach's guy.
I still look at him.
He really disappointed me last year.
I still look at him.
You had me hyped up about it. Like, okay, let me start watching.
I still look at him, and behind him I have Sam Levitt, John Mateer, Byron Brown, Austin Simmons, Kamario Taylor. You keep going down the list. And they're all these dual threat guys. And I'm like, I don't think any of them can take over a game like Lenoris Sellers can. I mean, he's a superhuman at times. I mean, he does things you cannot coach. He does things that you can't teach. At 20, and he's got to get back to 2024 form for them to be to have an improved season and really save Shane Beamer's job and be a contender. But he's just, as far as if you were building a quarterback in EA College Football 27, he's the prototype. You know what I mean? So his offensive line was abysmal, and I will say
he took a beating, got injured.
He has to improve because I still have friends in the Palmetto State, and they'll tell you like, hey, it was more on Lenoris Sellers than you think. He did not play very well at times, but the other part is he didn't have a running game. Right? He didn't have what he had in 2024, which is an electric running game with Rocket Sanders. But just as far as guys I would take, I mean, Lenoris Sellers is. You put him on like if he would have been the one that transferred to Miami, he probably wins the Heisman. I mean, really, truly, like he's that kind of talent. So those are my top 5 guys.
All right, real quick, just kind of below the radar.
Yeah.
What team or player quarterback exceeds expectation, but they don't go to the playoffs? You say, oh man, that was a surprise. This team actually was competitive and upset some people during their future is looking bright after this season.
Well, I mean, Tennessee's probably been the one that I've been talking about like that. I think to the most degree, if you will. I mean, Florida, I don't have them in the playoff, but at 9-3, sir, I know they're getting a lot of hype, but that would still be, I think they overachieved in year 1 or exceeded expectations, I should say, in year 1.
First year coach.
I don't know. Is Auburn going 7-5? Doing better than expected? I mean, hey, first winning season since like COVID or 2021 or whatever it was. So, I mean, let's celebrate the little victories. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, because it's interesting. Like, you can't say A&M, for example, because I have them 9-3 just missing the playoff. That's not a good year. They went to the playoff last year. They would be taking a step back. I have LSU 8-4, so I'm not going there with them. I think they're going to be. I think they're the most overrated team going in. Not like they have tons of talent. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sorry. I just won't buy that there isn't an adjustment period in year 1 when you have 50 new players on your roster and a quarterback that I don't know what the status of his health is. And, I'm not trying to hate. Yeah, the Levitt guy. He's been dealing with the foot injury. Yeah, I mean, he should be fine. I'm not trying to create a story that he's not, but, it's still there. And, I mean, I can't get out of my head when he went to Mississippi State last year and looked completely inept and they lost that football game. And also they have a really difficult schedule. They host Texas. They got to play Alabama. They got to go to Tennessee. It's a very, very – they got to go to Ole Miss. It's a daunting schedule for LSU. Although some want to paint the picture as it's super easy, I think it's still pretty tough. It's pretty tough. Yeah, so Tennessee's probably the one. And I'll be honest with you. I say all that about Tennessee. I don't know who the quarterback is. I don't know if it's GMAC or if it's Faison Brandon. I don't know which direction Heupel's going to go. If I had to guess, I think McIntyre gets the first out of the gate. They're going to – Faison Brandon's going to play, and he's going to play, and he's going to play until he supplants him and takes the job. Or maybe they just rip the Band-Aid off from the jump and roll him out there. I don't know. I know that playing a true freshman quarterback is not necessarily a recipe to have a big year. And I would ask Tennessee fans, if they do start Faison off the rip, don't you have to change your expectations a little bit? He's a true freshman. He's going to make mistakes. You can't in one breath say, Tennessee, if you're a Vol fan, Tennessee or Vandy's going to take a huge step back because they're playing a true freshman, Jared Curtis, but we're not going to do the exact same thing if we roll out a true freshman from game 1 to, 4 or 12 or whatever. So, it's when you're playing a young guy like that, man, but I do trust Heupel with quarterback no matter what.
One last question. All my friends from the Midwest, so the Big Ten is just dominating now, 3 years in a row. Like, will this continue, or do you see the SEC finally getting over the side? That's rude to say. I mean, SEC's not winning the championship? National championship.
Yeah, I mean, I guess history would tell you to take the field.
Right.
Notre Dame's really good. Miami's fantastic. Ohio State still in the mix. Oregon. Let's not forget about Indiana, who won it last year. Does the Big 12 have a national title contender? I don't really know. Maybe Texas Tech, but so I mean, I guess it'd be smart to take the field if I just have Georgia and Texas against everybody else. But I won't even fight the allegations. I'll go and be the SEC bias guy and say we're going to get it done. The SEC is going to get it done. Georgia or Texas, I think. And if I had to put my money on it, I'll go Georgia. I think Kirby Smart's just too good of a coach. They've built too good of a program to be held out for that long.
There you go. Chris, we appreciate you coming. Now, are you going down to SEC Media Days down in Tampa?
We actually will not. We'll be covering it from the house.
Gotcha.
The SEC made the inexplicable decision to have it in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
Which is far away from 95% of the schools in the conference. So, no, we will happily be going live from the house and covering it and doing it.
In your studio.
In the studio.
In the studio.
Yes.
There you go. All right, Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. We appreciate you coming in and joining us. This has been Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons on 105 The Zone.
Appreciate it, Chris.
Good afternoon, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Ross Johnston. In World Cup action, Spain beat France 2-0 yesterday in the semifinals to advance to the World Cup final. Today, England and Argentina face off at 2 p.m. right now in Atlanta for the second spot in the final. France will play the loser of England and Argentina on Saturday in the third-place match, and the World Cup final will take place on Sunday at 2 p.m. in New Jersey. In NFL news, Rich Cimini reports that the incident from last month involving Jets quarterback Geno Smith being accused of battery is no longer active and he will not be charged. For all your foundation repair and your waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans of Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Stores. 615-737-1045 is the number. We had Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered on, and
there's a lot of content on here about conversations about him on here.
Yeah, I mean they
just not looking at it.
Some people don't like Chris anymore because of his last statement about Faison Brandon and all that kind of stuff. And
smiley face,
yeah.
But
let me say something. I kind of agree. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying that Josh Heupel Coach of the Year. But I do kind of agree with his sentiment that I think that Josh Heupel could have a Rick Barnes-like year where this, on paper, maybe this roster isn't as good as the Josh Heupel rosters of the past. But I feel like if they get to 7 or 8 wins, that's a really good year for Josh Heupel, specifically because he's got, even though George McIntyre has been with the team last year, it's still his first year. He's still a first-year starter. Mm-hmm. Same with Faison Brandon, who's, a year younger, a true freshman. But, I do kind of feel like if they get to 8 or 7 wins, I feel like that's a win. But I don't know if UT fans really feel like
that's
that
what
is.
I'm getting at. That's what I would say. I don't know if that's what they want, regardless who starts at quarterback.
Right.
I just think they feel like they should be in the playoff hunt the entire time, which means they got to get to 9 wins.
Right. I mean, you have to be 7 wins early, end up with 9 wins. You get what I'm saying?
That's what we should be asking. Would they be okay with winning 7 or 8 games?
Yeah.
This season in the first-year starter of whoever quarterback it is.
Right. 615-737-1045, because listen, I'm not a UT fan, but objectively, I think that's a good season.
But you're an Alabama fan, but you hate the board. So you can still be a Tennessee fan and hate your coach. I mean,
I'm hoping that, the more I read about Keelan Russell and all that, I'm really hoping that this is
I
the
like
dude.
what I saw at him in that little minute of time, when Simpson went down.
And he's a guy, he's a DeBoer guy. He came to Alabama for Kalen DeBoer. And this is, as much as I've been critical of Kalen DeBoer, I have said that, I'm at least willing to see what he does with his recruiting class, his team. Because, there was still a lot of Saban-era stuff still going on. Now this should be really the Kalen DeBoer show. Let's see what it looks like.
And what year is this for him there?
Year 3.
Wow.
How would you feel about that prediction, too, if they went 10-2 but lost to UT and Neyland?
I still would be happy with 10-2. How could you not be happy? That's better than last year. So 10-2 is better than last year, so you improved. And I think going 10-2 in the SEC should be celebrated no matter what the team is. A double-digit win team in the SEC, you got to give them props for that. Mm-hmm. Got to. And listen, I know we're talking about 7 and 8 wins for UT. That's not double digits, but that's still a win for that team, especially when we don't know what the pass rush is going to look like. We don't know what the quarterback situation is. So arguably your 2 most important positions, quarterback and pass rusher, you have no clue what it's really going to look like. And so I feel like if you get to 7 or 8 wins, that's a win.
But don't we know about Tennessee is that there are guys in the trenches, offensive line and defensive line, that they're going to be pretty solid?
I think the offensive line is going to be solid.
Right, so you got that running back.
And I think maybe their interior of the defense is going to be good. I'm just not sure about the pass rush.
Right, and that's where it all starts. So I think you can protect your quarterback, having a good offensive line and a running game, Callahan.
Yeah.
That's how you protect the young quarterback and let him develop slowly. And you got to assist him, and then all of his talents to take over once he gets, into the flow and comfortable out there. And then defensively, hopefully they'll have enough to get after the passer. I think they're going to be, if the quarterback plays up to snuff, at least average.
Yeah.
If you got Aguilar, who had playing experience, that's the difference. Even though it wasn't at the SEC level, he's been a starter in game. Mm-hmm. So that's a big difference. So I've said that not knowing either one of those guys, watching McIntyre in high school and then Faison, I haven't seen him play at all. But if they're saying they're even, man, I think I would lean. Most coaches lean into the younger guy.
I think I would lean to Faison Brandon.
Because it's not supposed to be. And McIntyre's been there.
Yeah.
So in theory, he's really ahead. If it's even, he's already ahead.
Unless there's some crazy overhaul of the offense that we're not aware of, it should be a very familiar system for him, right? So, when you're in year 2, you should be clearly ahead of Faison Brandon. Unless Faison Brandon's some undeniable talent that we haven't got to see up close.
Well, he's got size and development. I mean, as far as his body, where, McIntyre had to put on probably even some more weight. How much was that a factor? He's a bigger guy. So he could take more blows and more built, ready to go. I mean, especially, and he runs a little bit too. So, yeah.
In the chat, Evan and Bank chat, Twitch 32, Facebook Live, hypo apologists want to make excuses for the roster and a rookie quarterback. He's in charge of the roster, says Brandon Lafayette. I think that's how you say his last name. If not, I apologize. 7-8 wins in back-to-back years is unacceptable in year 6.
And I think a lot of UT fans are going to feel that way regardless of who's there because they're going to say that it was his guy.
And I just want to say we are not hypo apologists.
No.
But I think
keep it honest and fair,
Yeah.
It's the two-sided thing of if they got 8 or 9 wins this season with that roster, that's a good season. But again, like he's saying, it's Heupel's roster. So that's a part of it as well. You get evaluated on that now. And Tennessee's the type of program, with it being a 12-team playoff and expanding soon, they should be in the hunt every single year.
Yeah,
it's that type of program.
I think if I'm a fan of UT, they have to be in the hunt all the way to the end. So that means you got to be, at least going towards that 9 win. If you come up short with 8, that kind of push you out of it. But yeah. Because it's the program. I mean, no matter what.
Well, it's also the SEC, right? There's a lot of unknown in the SEC. Think of how many new coaches, new quarterbacks, and we have other coaches that got to stick around and maybe get to add another year to their resume of building their way after taking over bad programs. There's a lot of unknown. And I know Josh Heupel is a constant in the SEC, but he's got unknown at 2 important positions. And that's pass rush and quarterback. And so, again, 7 or 8 wins in the SEC, especially if one of those wins were to be Alabama.
Oh, that would soften the blow.
That would, I think, help a lot of these fans get over this fact and look to the future and be say, hey, we're 7 or 8 wins with either George McIntyre or Faison Brandon. Just think what we'll be next year. I don't think the right expectation for the University of Tennessee this year is playoffs. I think that should be the expectation next year if this is a winning record season, and I'm talking 7 or 8 wins.
So Tennessee can't even be in that middle of the road tier like LSU, Oklahoma.
Heupel's just in a tough spot.
Oh, yes. I know.
But again, it's did he put himself in that spot? Maybe. We don't know fully if he did or not, but it's just the way it's going. You can't win 7 games this year. You got to win 8 or 9 games this year. And even then, if you win 8 games, like you said, you're not in the hunt. And it's back-to-back years, we're not even in the mix.
All right, I'm just telling you how some of these coaches think. He already has a built-in excuse why he's going to only win 7 games. We had a young quarterback starting our first year starting quarterback.
Year 5. This ain't year 2 or year 3.
That's just what he's handed now. I know that's who he brought in, but at the same time, or he can say, Faison wasn't ready. Then somebody up top goes, but you got to put him out there.
Okay, so do you think that's a valid excuse?
No, I don't.
Yeah, okay.
That's how they're going to be, but that's how he's going to look at it.
I'm looking at the schedule. This is a pretty easy schedule.
All right, let's go do this.
Okay, versus Furman. I think that's a win.
Oh, they better be the Paladins. Better watch out for the Paladins.
I think at Georgia Tech's a good football program. If you could beat Georgia Tech at Georgia Tech, that's a good sign for your football team.
Yeah.
Now, that may be, I don't know whether that's really a win or a loss, but I mean, I think at Georgia Tech is good.
UT fans are going to say that's a win.
They probably will, but I mean, I'm not sleeping
like
on
what you're
Georgia
saying,
Tech. Kennesaw State, so we know that's a win. Then they got Texas, likely a loss, even though that is in Knoxville.
Afternoon game, though.
It is an afternoon
I'm
game.
going to go to that game.
Then you have versus Auburn in Knoxville, and I think they can win that game.
So you're looking at 4-1 to start, right?
I would say 4-1, 3-2 at worst already. Then you go to at Arkansas. You better win that game. Okay, so now we're talking about 5 or 4 wins already. At versus Alabama, but it's in Knoxville. So again, that's kind of like the Georgia Tech thing. We'll see what kind of team you actually are in that game.
6-1.
At South Carolina, that should be a win, but that is at South Carolina. So that is the thing. If that was South Carolina at home in Knoxville, I would say University of Tennessee, but that's
7-1.
sneaky.
They got to win that game.
Okay, versus Kentucky.
8-1.
At Texas A&M, so I say they're going to lose that game.
Yeah.
Okay,
Then they got to go down to Death Valley. No, Death Valley comes to them. Sorry, LSU at home in Knoxville.
Oof.
So that's
I'd say that's a win at home.
okay. Then they go to Vanderbilt, they come here to Vanderbilt.
Oh, they go to Vanderbilt.
So I mean, that's I don't know.
So they can go 10-2 and 9-3.
Maybe 7-5 and 8-4 is a little low.
I think they can get to 9. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Whoever's their quarterback and they start getting on the run, If they got to win the ones that are coin toss games, we're just talking off the cuff, like the Georgia Tech that, even beating Alabama at home, we all know that's still going to be a tough deal.
South Carolina.
In South Carolina, Kentucky, yeah.
So like
the LSU one, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
At home.
Right. So I kind of look at it and I go, if Josh Heupel truly lives up to that kind of reputation that he has, that quarterbacks can work in this system and he could do this and that, I don't know. I feel like this should be this is a hard out. Like this team is a hard out. Because remember last year they blamed the defense for all those losses.
Right, that's what they find.
You can't blame the defense this year.
Oh, no.
Well, but
I'm sure you can, but you shouldn't.
But see,
they go blame that kid that left.
Chaz Coleman.
But see, that was the thing. Like, you got to wait and see some games played until you have expectations. I know that's like easy to say, but last year everyone thought their defense was going to be strong and they were all worried about Aguilar. And it was pretty evident early that it was going to be completely flipped. Aguilar was the guy and their defense was not very good.
Okay, so someone brings this up. Think about their SEC schedule last year. Really tough SEC schedule for University of Tennessee. This looks on paper, right? We don't know what some of these teams are, like Arkansas, Auburn, and Kentucky. But on paper, this is a pretty favorable SEC schedule.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like you're getting a lot of your even team games, like the teams you're even with, pretty much at home.
South Carolina, you just want to make sure you beat them.
Yeah.
I think it's a fair schedule.
I think so. I think it's a fair schedule, and I'm very interested to see who wins this University of Tennessee job. And I think this is going to be a real telling season for really what is Josh Heupel's real true ceiling as an SEC football coach. Like, what is it really? So it'll be really interesting to see. There's a lot of talk, and I don't mean to bring this up for,
but you do.
But for the people that hurt. But I found this an interesting nugget. There's a lot of smoke and talk that Nico's going to be pretty good this year, and I'm like, I don't know how after watching the quarterback I saw last year play, but there's a lot of talk out west saying that Nico pretty good.
Well, he's exceptional talent.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
So we all
He's
agree.
up and down.
I would say all three of us agree on paper that they would be 3-0, like they'd beat Georgia Tech just right now.
I think they should beat Georgia Tech, but I don't know if they will beat Georgia Tech.
If they got
because it is
upset.
at Georgia Tech, and they're Georgia Tech's such a well coached team.
Mm-hmm.
But my whole point with that is, if you do that, you start 3-0, and then you beat Texas in Neyland, then you got something going.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but then you got something going.
Don't get these orange and white people all hyped up thinking they're going to beat Texas.
Well, what would be the telling the tape is if you lose, let's say, to Georgia Tech, then now people are pissed, and then that will then take this whole thing to warp speed.
If that happens, there will start being a lot of noise early.
Yep.
I agree. All right, let's talk about episode 2 and 3 of the quarterback documentary on
Ross
Netflix
Johnson.
with Cam Ward, because there was some interesting stuff. Some more interesting nuggets about Brian Callahan, some interesting funny remarks from Cam Ward and all this kind of stuff. We'll talk about that when we come back. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. Hey, it's Zach Lyons, and I'm back after getting my vision corrected by Dr. Horn at Vision for Life. And let me tell you, it's been incredible. From the very first consultation, I knew I was in the right place. Dr. Horn personally sat down with me just like he does with every patient and answered every single question I had. I never felt rushed. He made me feel completely at ease and confident that I had made the right decision. The follow-up appointment was smooth, on time, and the entire team treated me like family. You can tell they genuinely care. And surgery day, it was honestly easier than I imagined. The procedure took less than 5 minutes, no pain, no drama. And now I'm seeing better than 2020. I can't believe how clear everything is. It's one of those things where you don't realize what you've been missing until you see it for yourself. If you're tired of glasses and contacts like I was, don't wait. Call Vision for Life at 615-436-2020 or visit visionforlife.com and schedule your consultation with Dr. Horn today. Trust me, it's worth it.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
Cover 2. Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all 4 Seasons Garage Doors, 615-737-1045. We're about to talk quarterback, the Netflix documentary, episodes 2 and 3 that I watched this morning with my wife. And but we also do want to hear from you, 615-737-1045. You could tell us how many episodes you've watched of Cam Ward. What do you think about the overall vibes of last season? You're reliving all the losses and mistakes again. Some of the victories, some of the wins, but like you're getting a behind the scene glimpse. How you feeling about Cam Ward so far, and what do you feel about the season and everything? Also, hey, what's your expectations for the University of Tennessee? We want to hear from you. 615-737-1045. We can talk about both. All right. So episode 2 is what we watched. Now, you watched episode 1 as well, and 2.
And 2, yes.
So what did you feel about episode 1 after having to be able to watch it the whole thing through? Because I know we talked about some of it yesterday, but you didn't really have a frame of reference.
Yeah, I didn't change anything.
You gotcha.
The coaching on the sideline, with Cam, and then, with him sitting down. I thought they did a good job there. We're going to probably find out what we already knew. With Callahan, he's a really good guy, probably more of a quarterback's coach, OC type, coach than a guy, leader of men. That's not derogatory by any means. That's just saying, week 1 with Cam Ward basically calling the play and we're not really giving any resistance or suggestion of what he wanted to run. Let's get that out there too. That maybe in certain moments, I think maybe he was a little overwhelming and kind of pushed the panic button.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. But he was clear, don't get to take a sack.
Yeah. I think everybody was under that impression. But hey, listen, Zach Allen on Gunnar Helm. I mean, I know that's not necessarily Brian Callahan's fault, but it kind of is because, Cam Ward called the play, but he let Cam Ward call the play. But, ain't nobody not going to take a sack in that instance with a rookie tight end on one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL.
Yeah.
But
that was a tough call.
The
guys miss blocks too, but mean, he got to just throw it away and throw it in the dirt.
Right.
That's growing pains. And I feel like he's still there. So it'll be interesting. So I think we agree, with season or episode 1. What about 2? Now that I've watched that.
Okay, so episode 2, just a few funny notes first. So we're watching the dodgeball scene, and of course he tells the kids that he's 6'3", and he's clearly not 6'3". Yeah. But I thought that was pretty funny. But he's a competitor, man. He was out there catching all those balls for the kids and making sure they left. But he told the camera or told whoever was around that they were 0-2. And Lauren, my wife, looks at me and she goes, "Man, 0-2 in football and 0-2 in dodgeball. Does he ever win anything?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn. I was like, that was cold.
She was tough right there.
She was tough on him.
Keeping it real.
Yeah. I thought his message to the kids was really good. And I know that he gets a lot of crap in our YouTube chat when he speaks at the podium because he always says a lot. Oh. But I didn't hear one time throughout that, whole speech to the kids and everything. So it just goes to show press conference players and players speaking in real life are two totally different things. And people just need to kind of realize that in the chat.
Yeah, I think that's his form of making sure it's a thought process because I think he's a quick thinker. Yeah. He's trying to, how is this going to be, perceived? How do I present this? And how much do I give them all in a matter of seconds?
Right.
And that's why he goes, and he's processing how quickly am I going to answer this? He didn't have to say, It's just a kind of a thing that he does. I don't think that tells you if he's super bright or not. It had nothing to do with it. So it's just kind of a clutch. Some people do that as public speakers.
Well, people do it on the radio too. And I was taught very early, people told me, here's the best advice I can give you if you're starting a podcast. Find a different phrase other than And I think mine's to be honest or to be fair. I say that
everybody has
30,000 times probably a show.
Ross is the only one that doesn't.
Yeah, I do too. He doesn't need one.
Yeah, I know. He's so sharp because he can't talk.
Yeah, that's because he's got a sore throat.
I couldn't talk. Going back just real quick to the Broncos scene, I didn't have a problem with the play calling thing that much just because Cam gave him 2 options that he liked. I assume Callahan picked one of the 2. Just assuming because they didn't say what play he picked. They didn't show that. What I had a problem with was Cam's saying, I won't take a sack. Don't worry, I won't take a sack. And then he takes a sack.
No. And I agree with some of that, but here's the whole point. It's week 1. He has to earn the right to even call.
No, that's where I get the issue.
That's what we were really talking
Yeah.
about. We just kind of went over that yesterday or a couple of days ago. But yeah, that part there, that let me know that Callahan wasn't a leader of men. He should have already known 3 plays that he was going to call when he came to the sideline and told him immediately.
Yeah.
As soon as he got there. Before, matter of fact, he should have walked up there and met him even further.
Yeah.
That's
Now that you bring
what
that
I
up,
wanted
that was
to
a
see.
little.
If you want to keep it real like that.
Yeah. Because most coaches
Cam is
do
gonna
come
be
on the
Cam.
field during a timeout.
A player going to be a player. He always thinks he could do it. So he bought all into that.
I think one of the whole sack thing, I think is kind of like, yeah, you're not supposed to take a sack. But like I said, I mean, Zach Allen's in his lap pretty quick. But the play that they called had nowhere for him to go with the ball safely other than he's just got to throw it out of bounds over to the right. Mm-hmm. And that's where all your players were anyway, right? The 3 and the 1. So like the 3 bunch over there, the 3 wide receivers over there. Yeah, they had a bunch set. They all were on if you're Cam, they're all on the right side of the field. Like you got to just throw it out of bounds at that point. And I do agree with that, but also like I feel like people are kind of overblowing the sack part of it. Like, yeah, he said it, everybody knows it. He still took a sack. It's still bad. I'm not saying it's not bad, but I feel like that's what people are harping on when really that's not what I think should be really harped on in that situation.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's like a trickle-down effect. That's the cause and effect of what happened on the sidelines.
That was the end result, and that's why it makes it everything kind of a little perturbing. But, he's got to throw that ball out of bounds.
Right.
That's just kind of a no-no. I think he thought he had no options and thought he could make something out of nothing like he always has.
And there wasn't time to do it.
Yeah, and then you playing better athletes. Remember, I told you he's not going to be able to run like he did in college, run away from these D tackles. It ain't going to be like that in the league.
Yeah, because I'm seeing him also doing in that wing T offense. Yeah. And you kind of think like that wing T offense, right, was the big talking point. I'm like, he sure doesn't seem like an athletic enough guy to even run the wing T.
That's not his stick. He's a maneuver scrambler, but not that. That's for sure. He's not in that category. I don't know if he's better than Tyler Shuck.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Right. I mean, Tyler Shuck, I think, was considered a better athlete than Cam Ward coming out of the. I mean, I think most people in the draft process said that.
But he has enough maneuverability. But that's what I'm saying. I just think we're going to see because Dayball, and I can't wait to watch them collaborate and conversate because there's going to be a mutual respect there instantly. And I think there was respect with Callahan, I think, in a different way.
Yeah.
It was because he let, it's like when you let that kid just run loose all the time, You're
their favorite parent.
Yeah, well, Dayball, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to respect you, you're going to respect me, but I'm calling the plays. Now, as you prove to me as a young player in my system that I can trust you along the way, that doesn't happen in week 1. That doesn't happen in week 4. To me, that don't happen until we are past week 8 or 10.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let a young, I'm going to just call it a rookie quarterback that's in his system call plays. That's a lot, man. Like, I think people have a misperception of like how it really is in the NFL when you're a rookie quarterback or a young player. That
your head's already swimming. You don't need to be
any class. Yeah. I don't care what quarterback. Do you think Peyton Manning was calling his plays?
Not that first year.
No, he wasn't.
I would even say it probably took his 4th year for him to start being that guy.
And I'm just like, man, so I know things have sped up, but I think you're asking a little too much now. When you see him in week 2, he's talking about he never seen this defense before in his life.
Yeah, there was that one move. And I was thinking, he's never seen that?
With everybody on the line in every gap, and he has to call the protection schemes, and then I think about where adjustments are with the wide receivers and who's doing what and believe in them that they're going to see what he sees. And, man, he had to go through that process, of failing.
Yeah.
And then seeing how they approach him. And each and every week, they gave him something different, I'm sure. And that all you need is that little bit of hesitation. You hold on to that ball, and guess what happened? You get sacked.
I mean, it's a game of, I know that people call it a game of inches, but it's a game of milliseconds. Yeah. I mean, just as much as it's a game of inches.
But is he capable, and is he going to be patient at times when needed to be, those are things you have to go through these lumps to figure out that I don't have to do it by myself.
Right. And that was kind of the messaging from Bo Hardigree. Every time
Yes.
you saw a shot of them on the sidelines,
I thought that was awesome.
you continue to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he comes to the sidelines and making mistakes, he's like, you know, you're going to make these mistakes. You're a rookie, but here's what you need to learn from it. Now, maybe to a certain degree, repeating the same message in the same manner over and over isn't yielding the results you want. You may need to change up how you're delivering the message.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I mean, he can't go out there and call timeout, make all the defenders pause, and then explain everything to Cam Ward. This is the only time they really have in game to do coaching. And I mean, they know better than most of us do, I feel like, on how to talk to players and how to coach. But I do wonder if Cam Ward was willing to hear what was being preached or being coached to him in those moments.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Because he's probably thinking about the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, well, of course. But, I mean, the great ones have you know, they forget about it and move on. I think Cam Ward is that way, by the way. I think he has the mechanism. I don't think Levis is. And that's the difference between the two as far as I always talk about, like, the quarterback mindset. That is it. You're going to make mistakes. Guys are too good.
Yeah.
You're going to call protections wrong. You're going to miss a freaking throw. You're going to throw an interception for a touchdown. It ain't about that. It's about how you responded to that.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have that mechanism to respond, then you might as well just shove it up and just quit right now.
Yeah.
And then you'll never be successful in the National Football League if that's what happened. I'm telling you right now, I don't care what position you play, let alone the quarterback, the hardest one. Like, so
I think that's what's been so interesting to watch with both Joe Flacco and Baker Mayfield is that how they respond when they make mistakes are what you're kind of looking for in a quarterback, right? Like, I mean, they don't really let it get to them or anything. They and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like Cam Ward's a little bit that way, but it's just it also goes to like staying power. There's a reason why Joe Flacco's still in that league, and it's that mentality.
Yeah, he seems like he's unflustered with anything because he's in it, you know, in the show. But
I think the most flustered he got was when he got traded. He just had his wife. I think this was episode 3, but spoiler alert, he gets traded to the Cincinnati Bengals. But like he brought his wife in for the whole week because they haven't seen each other all season, and she just gets to the hotel room. And then they get the call, and he gets traded, and he has to pack up and leave. I think that's the most flustered I've ever seen him.
That's in 3?
I think that's in 3. It's pretty interesting. What'd you have, Ross?
The only thing I was going to bring up is you talking about the communication for Cam during the games this year. It's going to be so much better. That was a great point because with Callahan, at least, he can't talk to Callie between drives that much. Callie's got to manage the game as well. Even though he's not calling the defense, he's still the head coach. Dable doesn't have to worry about the defense at all, so they can talk as much in between drives as they want to, and I think that's what he needs. He doesn't need to be talking to quarterback coach, which has to pass it along to someone else. He needs to be able to talk to the guy who's calling his plays all game long.
Yeah. Real quick, because we have talked about this guy a lot this offseason, you and I have. I was watching they were showing the Rams game in episode 2 and that one-handed catch by Elikiah Manor, and I forgot about that catch. You know how great it was. And I'm thinking, I don't know. We've been talking about don't sleep on Elikiah Manor in year 2, and I'm real interested to see specifically the growth that he takes and the leap he takes. But then also, you haven't gotten to it yet, I don't think. But the Arizona game.
Oh no, I don't.
Okay, so that's episode 3. I forgot how good Calvin Ridley was getting open in that fourth quarter. I mean, he was getting open.
He
like
had 2 big catches.
Yeah, they showed both of them. I was like, man, I just kind of totally blocked that.
But that's Calvin Ridley.
That is Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, he'll show that, and you go, oh.
Where's the rest of the way?
Yeah, we should see that almost every game. I mean, like flashes of that.
Yeah.
And it's just inconsistency. And I'm going to say this, not just about him, but even Cam Ward, you know, coaches don't really get upset like when you make a mistake.
Yeah.
It's the repeated freaking ding-dong mistakes that will, guess what they start thinking? Hey, man, if you don't pick this up, you're going to get me fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you can't keep making the same ding-dong mistakes. And I ain't saying ding-dong, trust me.
Yeah.
These coaches are that's what I like about this staff. They holds no bar. Ain't none of that babying no more.
Right.
They going to get in them, and they going to get them strong, and they going to see who can stand up to it. and then rise.
Right.
Yeah, they going to get corrected and they going to get MF the whole time. These dudes got some old school to them. They sound all nice and dandy on that thing. No, they are not. I've talked to people in the league. They are not like that. So they going to get ripped. And some of these dudes don't like to get yelled at, and some of them don't like to be talked to like that, or they don't want to be corrected, or they know everything, not coachable. Well, this staff is going to weed that out.
Yep. I agree.
And they start with the quarterback.
It starts with the quarterback. When we come back, there's one last thing I do want to talk about. It's a little bit of episode 3, so a little bit of spoiler if you haven't listened to it, but there was an exchange between Brian Callahan and Cam Ward I kind of want to get into. This is cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
If you've been looking for a way to boost your energy, support your metabolism, or simply feel your best, Edge Peptide Therapy in Franklin offers personalized, medically guided approach to wellness. And since 2018, Edge Peptide has specialized in advanced peptide therapies designed to support overall health from the inside out. And peptides are naturally occurring building blocks of proteins in the body, playing a key role in your functions like hormone balance, immune support, recovery, and healthy aging. And as we age, naturally, peptide production can decline, and targeted therapy may help support optimal function. However, quality matters, and many lower-cost research peptides found online are not intended for human use, may lack proper sterility, and often don't undergo rigorous testing, creating potential risk. And at Edge Peptide Therapy, all peptides are sourced through trusted U.S.-based compounding pharmacies that follow strict standards, including FDA oversight and third-party testing for purity, potency, and safety. And patients also benefit from ongoing medical guidance with individualized protocols and monitoring to help ensure the best possible outcomes. So if you're ready to explore more comprehensive medically supervised approach to Edge Peptide, then just go to the website at edgepeptide.com. That's edgepeptide.com, or you can just give them a call today at 615-724-1878.
Cover 2. Blaine Bishop is Zach Lyons on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. I want to talk about two clips. We don't really have time to talk about that Brian Callen Cam Moore. We're going to save that for later when you watched it. But I want to talk about something in episode 2 where Joe Flacco is talking to Shadur Sanders at practice and making fun of him for wearing that visor. He goes, a quarterback only wears a visor when they're too concerned with what they look like out on the field. And he's going into him saying he'd never let his kid wear a visor. And Shadur's just sitting there. He's taking it like a good sport. He's like, you wouldn't let your kids wear a visor? He says, nah. I tell them that they look. He'd use a lot of different cuss words into this, but they look like dumb idiots wearing a visor.
A visor?
Yeah, it's a mirror visor.
It was a mirror visor.
Yeah, and he's like, and of course at the end he's like, you do you, Shadur or whatever, like he's just ribbing. He's just ribbing them.
Yeah, he was just having fun with it.
Yeah, it's funny though. It goes to show because they talk about trash talking, and Joe's like, I'm not a really good trash talker, and then they just show all these clips of him saying good job to the defender after they hit him. He's like, oh, good one, good job.
Yeah, and he's got like this dry humor about him.
Yeah. Yeah, I like him. And then this is in episode 3, but there's the Tampa Bay's playing the Seattle Seahawks, and they're talking about some story. Or no, yeah.
Baker
Mayfield it was Detroit. It was Detroit. This
Baker
is the one.
Total opposite of that. He was talking crap the whole time.
Yeah, he says he never starts it though. I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, I don't know if I believe that necessarily.
His body language.
But he was on the sidelines of the Detroit Lions game. They were playing Detroit, I think, and some heftier man was going in on Baker, and Baker turns around and says, hey, make sure because this guy's sweating and they're indoors and this guy's sweating, has a towel on. That's how big he is. He's one of those big guys. And he's in the front row of right behind the Tampa Bay bench. And he goes, hey man, I hope you stay hydrated because I know you're out of shape. I mean, he's just talking trash right back. That guy just sat back down in his chair and just started wiping his face. But I have grown to even like Baker even more than I already did going into this season.
I always liked that.
I've always liked him, but I've grown to like him even more because I forget. And I know you have brought it up on the show numerous times, but I always forget that he was a walk-on.
Yeah.
And it's just, and then you go to the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Browns, you have a winning season, you have some success, you get injured, and he doesn't make any bones about it. He goes, they told me to go ahead and get the surgery. That I'm their guy next year, and then I turn around like a week or so later, and they've traded for Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. Then I'm in Carolina, and Steve Wilkes gets the job, and Steve Wilkes hates me, and he wouldn't even be honest with me about if they were going to cut me or trade me or anything. And he goes, that's all I ask for from these coaches. You don't have to like me, but I understand this is the NFL is a business. I just want you to be honest with me. And you could tell that really hurt him too. And then he talks about his time with Sean McVay and how he found the love of football again after those prior 2 stops.
Yeah, because he had to start like literally after being there only 3 days.
Yeah, it was like something crazy.
They were sending him, while he was on the flight, the game plan or something, the plays anyway.
Yeah, so I've always admired Baker, and I've always thought he's got a bad rap at Cleveland, but I've grown to admire him even more after watching this show.
Anybody who's fought to earn what they have, and that could be his own kryptonite, is that fighter sometimes can get overboard, and that's what he's done. Sometimes he gets riled up a little bit, a little too emotionally involved and wrapped into the game. And when he just settles down and just plays ball and just have fun with it, he's great, man.
He's great.
He's a good dude. I mean, I kind of did a little bit of research. I mean, he did a lot of college stuff. A lot of people do a lot of dumb stuff, but it was harmless.
Oh, they talk about it in that first episode.
It was harmless dumb stuff. I mean, he grabbed his crotch, right? Okay, he got arrested for, whatever it was. I mean, the guy, I thought he might have got hurt when that police tackled him. You saw that? He hit the side of that dang brick wall. I was like, dang, he got bent over, man. Did you check your ribs? Oh, my God.
In the Eagles game, he gets mollywopped in the beginning of that game, and
he's a tough son of a gun.
And then he gets up, and then they start talking trash to him. He's like, the adrenaline hits me. I don't even know I'm injured or anything. And then a few plays later, he gets clipped again in the legs after trying to run for a first down. And I say, I know that Baker did not have a lot of fans, but if you don't come away liking Baker after this documentary, you're really just missing out on just one of the better personalities in football, in my opinion. Because I love a competitor like that.
Does his dance. Yeah, that's why I said it gets misconstrued that he's like a bad guy, but that's never how I've perceived him. And you know what was really interesting throughout the whole time with Baker Mayfield is how he met his wife.
Yeah.
that was some Ross type stuff right there, man.
That was funny because that's where they start talking about all the dumb stuff he did in college was when he was meeting his wife.
Research on him. Yeah. She was like, I don't think I'm going to date this guy.
I love it. I love it. And of course, Baker asking Jalen Carter if he still had a spitting problem was top tier.
Yeah.
Top tier. All right. This is cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons. Stray Chill's up next. And in the meantime.
And in between time.
Peace.